So last night, I got hooked onto Abraham boys, and I went into the Vortex from last night till today. And what I got in the mail was from a Toyota dealership here locally in town. And they sent me this thing that had a scratch-off ticket. So I scratched it off and I won. Being in the Vortex has changed my life already. I've already known since last night that I received these free, wonderful, wireless earbuds. Please join the Vortex with me, boys. Your life will be much happier. You will realize you will have an abundance of free things coming your way. Because when you're in the Vortex, what you are is already there. Please come to the Vortex. Join.
It's 2 minutes, Sean. You throw the football, you don't run it.
Listen, maybe he's in the Vortex, okay? Maybe he's manifesting success.
It probably is.
I mean,
Actually, Tom Brady, in a way, is part of the Vortex, because if you look at his overall philosophy on life, and because he follows a lot of what the Vortex teach. Like, literally, he follows
if you
lot of what they teach.
If you want to follow a woman that goes by a man's name, well, that's
Sean, it's not a woman. That's
Abraham.
That's Abraham. That's he just takes over her body.
Is that seriously what it is?
Yeah.
I like you shared a video in the podcast group chat.
Yeah. Well, I watched
that video. I watched maybe like 3 or 4 other clips, and it's it's just all the kind of the typical self-help, self-affirmation, like, you know what I mean, like that kind of manifesting success, and if you don't try, then you can't succeed.
Yeah.
How did you find out about Abraham?
I found out about Abraham on Joe Rogan. And then I looked up Abraham. Oh. And I told Dan this, I probably watched about 4 or 5 hours of that lady in Abraham.
You feel like you've been radicalized?
Well, I went deep into it, and I listened to it all day, running, at work, everywhere. I was listening to this lady.
Sounds like you listened to a little more than 4 or 5 hours. You saying like 4 or 5 hours a day?
No, probably about 4 or 5 hours total.
How deep into the Vortex were you?
I probably listened, not all the YouTube videos on YouTube, but a lot of them. But probably about 60 to 70% of them I listened to. And
what is your takeaway? Do you like Abraham?
Well, in my personal takeaway, I think Abraham's some kind of devil.
Well, so what's the weird hook? Because like I said, if you were just like to stumble across this Abraham lady, you're going to just think like, oh, okay, she's like a self-help guru type person.
Yeah, that's what she sounds like.
Yeah, that's what she sounds like. But what's the deep lore? I mean, like, what is she really about?
Well, it's Abraham. She channels Abraham, and Abraham's a 1,000-year-old man.
So she's channeling a spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then isn't that one of the people in the Bible, Abraham, right?
I don't know if it's him from the Bible. No, it has nothing to do with the Bible. Like, people ask her, well, what do you think about God? What do you think about the devil? And Abraham says that there may be a God, but it's not the God that you think. It's man has created God in his own image.
Yeah. But didn't Abraham fuck with like the black arts and shit and magic?
Did he?
Who?
Yeah. Abraham.
From the
Bible?
Bible?
Yeah, talking about that Abraham, I thought.
Wait, what Abraham are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Abraham from the Bible. Isn't it Abraham? The one that he was the one that had like a shit ton of wives.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's not the Abraham that's in her.
I know. But so like the Abraham, the only reason I'm going to bring it up is just because it's interesting, and I'm not trying to divert the conversation. I just want to say that Abraham was a person in history, or in the historical context of the Bible, that communicated and tried to trap demons.
I've never heard that before.
Neither have I.
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me.
Yeah, stop putting pennies down on this rail track, okay?
Hold on. And all I'm saying is he was communicating with demons. Maybe this is the chick. Maybe they're doing some sort of time manipulation, dimensional shift thing.
Listen, wait, she can't account for God. She can't account for the devil. But you know what she can account for? That's the Vortex, baby. And that's and if you're not in the Vortex, then you can't be any. Then you ain't shit, dog.
Yeah,
I'm not in the vortex.
Well, I can break it down for you.
Bomb!
No, you might be in the vortex.
Can she go in and out of like herself and this Abraham?
Well, no, she has to call upon him, and then he takes over, and then he does the presentation, and he talks, and people come and have Q&A, and they ask him questions.
Oh, so she's just scamming people then.
Well, here it is. No, she's not really scamming. She's not, like, there's a lot of good stuff in it. It's basically what she's teaching is the law of attraction.
Yeah, it's like Tony Robbins stuff.
Yeah, it's the
Straight
same
up,
thing as the law of attraction.
Yeah, but she's
she
a
does
fucking
that.
lunatic. She's a loony.
And when you're in the vortex, it just means that you already are the things that you want to be.
You just don't know it. You got to manifest it, dude. You got to think about
Well,
it.
when you're in the vortex, you know what you are. So let's say you want to be a multi-billionaire. Well, then if you're in the vortex, you just start acting like a multi-billionaire, and then and then you'll start attracting those people around you. You'll start attracting different energies of groups of people.
So it's more of mindset then.
Mindset and
So
being in that mindset will manifest you to take action to be like those people. Be like the type of person you want to be.
Is it like a predetermined destiny type thing, or can you change what you want to be, or you are what you are?
You are what you are, I guess, right? Like you just haven't self-actualized. You just haven't being outside the vortex is like not understanding who you are.
Yeah.
Like, and then once you're in the vortex, you understand who you are. You have a clear picture of it, and then you should just start being that thing.
And this is something that she came up with, or Abraham came up with.
Yeah, but there's some other weird things too that like she says about like the Holocaust, where like people call her out on it.
I love that it can't be she's just channeling this 1,000-year-old spirit, telling people, giving people self-help, and she's like, also the Holocaust never happened.
No, that's not what she says.
Hitler wasn't that bad.
No, Sean, Abraham said that.
Abraham
clearly were not in the vortex.
She doesn't blame, or I guess she doesn't really see them as victims. She does in a way, but not as we see them. Abraham sees them as they all of the people manifested that to happen, all the Jews. Because the way they thought about themselves before allowed the Nazis to take them over.
If they always had a victim mentality, or they always felt weak or whatever, that's exactly they're going to become victims. It would follow in line with what she believes about the vortex, or what she preaches, or excuse me, what Abraham says about the vortex.
Yeah.
That would make logical sense, I suppose. If you were to follow her, if you want her to be consistent, and you want Abraham to be consistent, that would make sense. So, yeah. So how long have you believed this?
What, in the vortex?
No, that the Jews did it to themselves.
I don't believe that.
Michael, come on now.
I don't believe that at all. No, I don't believe what she says. The only thing
you're like Dan when he's like about to say something that he shouldn't say, and he knows it, and he starts sweating.
No, I don't believe that.
For sure.
Dan can identify it. See, Dan's looking at you, and he's like, this is a man who's guilty. He's got a guilty conscience. We've all seen it.
No, I don't believe in Abraham. I just got into it. I got hooked onto it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you stumbled.
And then when I got into it, I got into the vortex, and then I won that prize. I basically went into the vortex for one day, and I manifested me getting a prize.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Boom, boom, boom.